Now let me preface by saying this is not an attack on Matt Warfel or Devon Carver. This is merely a reflection of ArenaNet's general attitude towards its player base. Okay, so first off, ArenaNet often makes changes to their game because according to them some aspects are difficult to understand. For example, rune changes in PvP or attribute point changes during character progression. What's interesting is that in almost all cases these mechanics have not been a problem for players, nor have they ever asked for these changes. Yet almost all changes have had the same explanation, which is it will make it easier for players. On the other hand, there is something that is constantly asked for by the community, and that is the ability to go into first person mode. Now, first person is something that is possible in the game.
The first person mode, which we've had ways to kind of toggle in and out of it on our dev client before.
But it's also something that ArenaNet have not found to be of any use to players since the game has been out for 2 years and they have yet to implement it.
It's something that we explore and we think about how would this work in the game and what would it make the game feel like and what does it add for players.
Or it would render combat much more difficult for players since it limits your situational awareness.
The biggest reason to stay away from it is that the sense of direction in combat is really important in our game, as well as positioning. Positioning is really important. So when you go into that first person mode, you really completely lose understanding of anything that's going on behind you, which can make our combat really difficult to understand and very just difficult to play.
Look, either they think that we're really stupid, which certainly seems to be their thought process considering their previous changes, or they simply don't want to tell us why they don't implement this basic feature. I don't know what's worse. I mean, to think that players would go into first person mode when taking screenshots or making machinimas and then not zoom out when engaging in combat or joining PvP is just absurd. Is ArenaNet's biggest concern really that Johnny Fucktard buys the game, starts playing it in third person, finds out he can zoom into first person, then stays in first person mode until he finds the game unplayable, at which point he does not zoom back out. Instead, he cries on the subreddit and then leaves the game. Who are they catering this game to, really? To think that these people exist and they far outweigh the number of people who would enjoy a little first-person view every now and then is just mind-boggling. Hence, assuming that Guild Wars 2 players are not complete morons, this cannot be the real reason for not implementing first-person mode. At which point they simply do not want to tell us. Why is that, ArenaNet? And it gets better. Several players, me including, think that the field of view is too narrow or that you can't zoom out far enough. Again, something that is obviously possible to do.
So we have the ability to kind of override your camera during boss fights and provide you with a much broader view or let you zoom out further.
But something they will not implement because then you would miss all the hard work the devs put in to make the game pretty at close range.
There's always a tension there because we spend a lot of time and we're very proud of the art that we do, and we have a fantastic art team, and they're spending a lot of time making things look really good up close, and so that's part of the tension that you see.
In short, we want you to be able to see what's behind you, but not too much because you might miss all the pretty things. You're simply too stupid to have control over the camera.